What's up, everybody? Back in action here on the last day of July, FOMC day, and we are live and ready for the day. DJ Pips on the beat, that's right. We're going with Awesome Mix Volume 1 from Guardians of the Galaxy. Just kind of getting it going. We are ready for today's action. So sort of similar to yesterday's open where we are opening at the overnight high. We had Microsoft earnings yesterday. We had AMD. Microsoft said the magic words of that AI is going to drive a lot of earnings plays and whatnot. So you're going to see maybe NVIDIA. That's why it's catching a bid pre-market here. AMD did okay, beat on earnings, and we have continued that rally on up. So AMD beat, NVIDIA is going to catch a bid on the AMD beat, and also on Microsoft guiding with that AI future. We are going to be seeing Meta after hours today. Tomorrow is going to be Amazon, Apple, and Intel. But the big news today is the FOMC rate decision. Really, it's going to be a nothing, probably a 5.5%. Just once again, holding rates still. Looking for forward guidance for the rate cut. And that's what markets are trying to price in here. Will September be the time? Is inflation in control? Are we getting enough information here to actually get that cut and move on? I think that that's probably what happens based on the election cycle, all that fun stuff. So we are going to be opening right here, like I said, on this overnight high. My guess is with the way I drew, I sent it in the chat, but I'll show it over here on this screen. You could see we are rotating from the bottom end of the channel right up to the top end and into that gold, 19,398, 400 level. We could squeeze out of here and rotate up, which is kind of the concern for this working immediately. Yes. It's family fun day here in the stream room. So Enzo's next to me. Max is coming around. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing, but it's going to be a jam-packed day here on the stream. So we'll see what we get out of this. I'm going to be on normal time, 8:30 here till 11 Central. And we're going to get going. Let's see what happens with the open here. We're going to get my quant tower set up correctly. Decent delta bid, right? You could see. You leaving? You can come back again in a little bit, okay? Russell's selling off. All right. Everything's ready, set up to go. Let's get this open and let's see what happens. I want to see more of like a whip up into that 400, closer to it before getting this sell off. But if it goes right away, I might have to hammer in just to catch that first little piece. We'll see what happens here on this open. Good luck, everybody. Trade well, smart. Don't do dumb shit. Don't do dumb shit. All right. We are going to be open here in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it going, baby. There's that push on up. Nice. Nice little push. Stop sell below that. Right into that 90 to 400. If it can get down below here, I want to get triggered in and whip myself right into that. Hopefully it can get going really fast. I'm going to let that whip me out. If it does, I'm going to go break even real quick on it. And I'll take it again if it pops back above. So we're at even on that one. I didn't want to get whipped around if it's not going to hold. Did not. Missed it there. Could have held it a little bit longer. Probably should have got right on top of that overnight high, but overall, still going to wait for this. I wanted that to go really a lot faster than that. Now I want it to get back up, set up, and do it from there. So the opening range is a little bit whippy. Not helping me here. That was a really nice short. Hopefully somebody took that short and held it and got a little bit more out of it, but I mean, here we go, pushing into that low again. Unfortunately, I have to wait for it to reset back up, but that was really nice right there. Plus 142 for Scrooge, held on to it, very good. I'm up $2 on that account and $7 on the other account for a nice break-even trade there. Really, really good setup on the open. could keep rolling over. NVIDIA's rolling. I want to see it maybe give us what we got yesterday, where we got that retest, that pop back above it, and then we could take that short. Maybe S&Ps could help us out, reject that 55.48 level. Otherwise, we may be rolling in. We'll see what happens at the previous day high, that 319.75. If we can get to it, that would have been a really nice, clean move there. If you are in this, still clean, still good, holding the bottom end of this consolidation. S&Ps is moving downside. So is the NVIDIA name for the day. We can pop up. Hopefully we can pop up, get above that overnight high. That'd be great. And then I can make the decision from there. But it looks like it's not going to give it to me. So I got it. I caught it, and I pussied out on the hold. Shaky bot. I wanted to let it get a little further, and I just didn't let it get a little further. So it's all right. We're going to see what happens at the previous day high. Probably get a reactive bounce from it, and then we can see if we can short through that and if it's going to continue on. But that's going to also be the trend line hold location likely. So I'm going to wait, be patient, let it set me up again, and then I'll take the real true move, hopefully to the downside. Good news is yes, immediately went to plus 30 and got whipped out. Yeah, it's, just trying to limit your risk on it. Could have been cautious just because, like I said, that 400 level could have come easily and grabbed right after that whip down. We did see that yesterday. We got that pull, and then we got the really nice setup, and then we got the push down. So let's see if we can get that same kind of action where we can pull back in, push back up above, set up a little bit, and then we can get that next leg to the downside and kind of hold it a little longer. Or is this going to be a failed breakdown of the previous day high and rotate back? That could be another call there. See what happens with it. 74% short does lead me to believe that the long may want to come in. We are very extended from that VWAP. Aggressive buyers coming in into Russell. Oh, man, that was a really nice, clean move from 72 where I got my short and just did not let it play. 72, we'll call it 71 down to where we're at right now. A nice little move there. See if there's anything on the book. Up above, down below. Down below, there's some size, not much. One guy flashing a 46 lot. Everything up above kind of not holding. 36, 35. It is a heavy, heavy seller there. So right into that previous day high. Maybe we get a bounce from that. 75% short on the tilt. So people looking to get short. If we get into that 55.27 level, that could be a good area for this to rotate back and bounce. So look for that. Be mindful of it. From 104 to 111. Technically, yes. Oh, man. That was really a clean move there. Should have been able to catch that. Personally, just like the opening range, the opening breakdown, when you're opening on these highs at key levels, I really just needed it to. The only thing that didn't lead me to believe that this was going to continue like that was the close proximity to that overhead 400 number. And then also just kind of we had that 390, which obviously we touched right onto. Just above that's that 398, 400. So I do want to see if this can pop back up above that. I did call about that range, that previous day high, a long off there could be good. It's not really, it didn't give me a good setup on it, right? That's like a really good liquidity grab there. NVIDIA is trying to hold 111.10, but it's not getting a great hold. So if we do break down below this previous day high again, potentially could short through there. Just trying to catch a little piece of that. And then also the get back up over the overnight high. That would be nice to catch that piece. So if we do push below here, that should give us the momentum for S&Ps to get down to that previous day high. If we do get up over the overnight high, we might need to watch it up over the opening range high because the S&Ps opened below, never made it to that overnight high. So technically, overnight high could come in for the S&Ps, which could help us. But if we hold below this, I need to get the VWAP to be correct to make sure it's all good. Hold on. Yeah, it's good. Get up over that overnight high. Give us another chance at it. Set us up a little bit. Could just rally on up. Like that's what I'm most concerned about for the idea of this short. I'll sell through the previous day high if it gets through it, in hopes that this gets to catch up and then get through and then down to VWAP. If we get above the overnight high, then we're going to wait to see if that'll set up. This is still relatively weak. NVIDIA is creeping up back over yesterday's pre-market and yesterday's high. Yesterday's pre-market and yesterday's high, and then up into that 113.70 could be reactive. But with NVIDIA getting all that good information, we could see potentially the long come in here with NVIDIA. So that will drive this market straight up. Let's see what Microsoft's doing from that earnings. Yeah, they're selling off. So Microsoft's selling off. AMD is just bouncing around in its opening range. And NVIDIA, same deal, kind of just in between that 113 and the 111, 114, 111. I want this up higher, even up into that 400. If we can get up, wick that 400, wick the high of the day, then come back down to break through this overnight high, could give us the same type of move, but even heavier, right? It could give us the same thing that we got yesterday, just purely based on the area that we're at with the NASDAQ futures. Extended on the pre-market, does want to pull back, get some healthy pullback, get some good, clean price action. Still holding that opening range low. You can see right there, that blue line just not giving up. Lots of, there's not a lot of volume here. So above it should push into that high, and then maybe we get that. Russell is selling off. So money flowing out of the Russell for now into the FOMC decision. People think possibly that the Russell will, within small caps, will get a really decent flow if we do get guidance on a rate cut. That was the move right there. That's the one I needed to hold a little tiny bit longer. NVIDIA is still pushing higher. So since Microsoft is important, I'm going to leave Microsoft up on the top chart. Get rid of some of these visual levels on the 5-minute. There we go. The 424.96 was the pre-earnings. Get up over that overnight high, wick through 400, then give me that immediate failure. That'd be fantastic. So if I can get up over 400, then S&Ps could catch up to that overnight high, and then I could get the rejection on the overnight high on the S&Ps, as well as come back down through it on the NQ. So that's my thoughts on that. I would like to see that occur. So we're up into that 400 area. Didn't quite get to 400. Is there a big buyer, big seller up here? 96. There's a 90 lot. So 89, 90. There's something going on up there, dragging price to the high side. Right up and through. Let's see if 96 fills. What kind of size? Yeah, big size. You can see 280 lots. 400 just got huge size filled there. Very, very big size filled at 400. Not getting the squeeze that you anticipate out of that kind of move. But now Microsoft creeping up, NVIDIA creeping up. This could have trapped some shorts in here, and now we rally for the rest of the foreseeable day. I did talk about getting long from previous day highs. I did not do it myself. I just didn't have that full setup. Kind of just went in, went out, and rallied on through. I didn't trust it to not be heavy, especially with the way and S&Ps wasn't quite at that level. So I thought maybe we can get a little deeper before we could push it out. So just waiting for confluences to make sure we can execute on a plan better. We did get that idea there. So if this does come all the way back down into here, it should not, right? In theory, like we should have squeezed over 400 and kept going. So theoretically, we want to see this kind of linger here, maybe do one little pop out and then come back down through the overnight high, which is basically just pre-market high right prior to open, and then rotate right down through it. That would be the ideal, because this candle shouldn't get canceled out. Then you get sellers pouring in, take it down to maybe at least the previous day high and then see what happens there, or even deeper. That's my thought on it. I'm not playing the rejection of 400. I'm playing the failed breakout of the overnight high, so that's why I don't enter at 400. If you do like it up there, I don't blame you. That large size got filled there, so I was, you would expect it to hold and break if it was going to, right? With that kind of size getting filled and dragging the market up that direction. Kind of similar to that setup the other day. This could do that sweep of this low and then rotate up, and I don't care if it rotates up after that. I'll take that move from where we're at down all the way to the previous day high and then beyond if it wants to go beyond. If not, if it wants to bounce and turn around, I'm going to take my profits right there. I'm going to trail out right to that high. So see if it comes into play. If it does, cool. If not, if we get wicked in and wicked out, we're executing our plan. Everything I said, come up to 400, fail the level, rotate all the way down. That's my thought on it. I'm going to let it think, let it breathe for a couple seconds on it. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong pretty quickly because it's going to bounce right off of here, wick me in, wick me out. But I want to see it get heavy through this level, down through the opening range low. If it gets through the opening range low, I'm going to get to even. And then I'll get from even, I'm going to get right on top of the opening range overnight high because it shouldn't get back above the overnight high. Now we're getting through that opening range low. So now we're at even again. And then we're going to get wicked out one more time because that opening range low wants to hold. Come on down. Get all the way down there. Now it's holding. There we go. Pushing. Okay. Secure ourselves. Get over that. Let's see if we can get down through that previous day high. I'm holding a little bit longer on this one. There we go. Candle to candle, securing 200 on that. Let's secure a little bit more on the heavy fail here. Let's see if we can get even deeper. I want to get all the way to VWAP. That would be a glorious short here for the end of July. We're already securing ourselves a really great end of July. Great day here. So far, so good on the heaviness. Like I said, if we get to the previous day high and crack, I'm going to trail right to the top of it. I want to see if it'll crack. I want to get right there. I'm going to give it $100 to wiggle with. Wiggle with that $100. Wiggle with it. Wiggle with it. And I'll take my $700 and walk on the day. Let's get it. Hopefully somebody caught that. Hopefully Ray was watching. Hopefully Ray passed the combine with that. Hopefully there's 2 times on that on Scott's charts, and he might have passed his account there. Let's see. Check my phone. Let me check my phone. Let me see if Ray passed this account. You'd better not have blown up. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. We got a passer. We got somebody passing the combine. Finally, let's go. Let's go. I'm more happy about that than me. I was hoping that this was going to be for you, this short, clear as day coming in for me, right? Our overnight level breakout, failed breakout strategy at key levels is absolute money. We're not going to do anything different. I was hoping for this kind of day today here to end July, to get more people funded. I want to see if Scott got himself funded. You didn't pass yet. You're very close. Don't force it if you're very close. I want to see more people passing this week. If this week we can get multiple people passing, we're proving concept in the room here of just trying to help everybody out. Scott, you need less than $300. I would size down if you're going multiple contracts, size down from that. Once you get to that point, I've blown accounts where I was up to very, very close to that profit target. So I'm going to go ahead and lock out for the day here on my 50Ks. So we're up a good $700 across 2 accounts, $1,400 in less than 15 minutes on an FOMC day. I will take that. So you just took the one contract. That's good. That's good that you're sizing down. I'm really proud of Ray for finally passing these accounts. That's a big hump that he's been trying to get through for a very long time. And like I said, that's what I do this for. This is really, really good. Very, very happy with that. lock it out and go celebrate there, Mr. Frias. I love it. So right now, I might switch to the 100K and see if I can get a little follow through out of this through the previous day high, because it's still valid. If I can get through here with the 100K, then I will do that. Hell yeah. Scrooge, hopefully you're still up. Yep, up another 95 on that. Or you're up, or you got a little loss on that one and you pulled back from 142 up to 95. Hell yeah, you passed on the follower. Let's go. So we got 2 passing combines today. Let's get it. Scrooge is up 234. I locked out on my 50Ks. I'm taking a payout today after the bill. So tomorrow on stream I'll request a payout because we are up $3,429 for the month of July. I'm gonna take $1,400 from each account and go ahead and take a $2,800 payout from these 2 accounts. Can't be mad about that. And after building the buffer and looking for a day like today to kind of just move on. Boy, oh boy, what a beautiful day here in the Policing Pips trading room. Called that first short. Nice, clean, easy move there. Then we called this second move. We locked out. We called that push up into 400, fail that 400 level, and then rotate right down and through, looking for that target of 20. And then if 20 would have broken, you would have had easily to VWAP. Cheers. Cheers to the Day Trading Coffee Company. We got 2 people passing combines today, and another one really close. We got Scrooge up some money. I think we're really having a great week here. Great month of July for the Policing Pips lobby. Dekmar showing his face, trying to keep the money in the ATM, but can't hold it in. You can't hold it in. We're showing that we made 700 on that trade there. 695 minus fees, right? Whatever, we're okay with that. And then on the follower, same deal, 699.40 on that follower account. So 700 across 2, locked ourselves out, secured our win for the day. You basically could be done for the day if you are so inclined. I'm out here just providing value for the rest of the day, kind of give you some guidance as we move forward. You made that trade, you pass your accounts. If you pass your accounts, 2,400, Carlos, you're still getting there. You're still close. You're still in profit. You're ready to get closer to that level, right? If you pass today, if you like the call out so far, if you're new to the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff on the YouTubes and on Tradecaster. Make sure you let Deck know that I know what I'm doing here time and time again. He is the boss man of the Tradecaster lobbies. I'm going to go ahead and take this on the 100K, and I'm going to let it just breathe out a little bit. And I'm going to see if it'll take me to Paradise City on the 100K. If not, it's going to run through that overnight high, and I'll be out on that. But we'll see. Trying to follow, switch accounts and do it is difficult for me a little bit, like going back and forth from account to account. So that's why I do like that copy feature. And I want to see if I can get this to follow through here down through the previous day high. If this cracks, you can really expect that VWAP to kind of come into play. But if we get back above the overnight high, then we're going to be out and flat on this account. Feels like it wants to get up on that higher side. I want to have the ability to get a second entry on it, so I'm going to take it out if it does wick above this. Oh, night, hey. Oh, yeah. Sometimes this third attempt doesn't work, so that's why I'm giving it a third shot. It potentially could, and because NVIDIA is at that 113.70 and selling from there. So I want to see if NVIDIA will continue to roll from that area, kind of looking to give back some of that pre-market whip from the Microsoft news of it wanting to go. So this is probably going to get stopped here, but I wanted to do that to keep myself from overdoing it on this one particular trade on this 100K. Oversized, not oversized, but I don't want to get trapped into this squeezing over that overnight low. So going to leave that down below there and see if that'll trigger later. But we are good on this. Hell yeah, locked out. Getting consecutive green days is more important for passing the combine than making a little more. Absolutely. So if you're in this combine world, right, and you need to try and get into the habit of passing them, developing good habits, all that fun stuff, it's better to go, if you haven't been consecutively green time and time and time again, you're not going to have a good chance to, take the payouts, keep the accounts long term, right? You're not going to do well enough, right, where you're going to have big up days, and then you're going to give back a lot of the big up days because you're no, hold on a second. I like the way this is looking. Give me a second. Not a heavy tilt to the high side. I'll take the breakdown of that again. NVIDIA, it does look like it wants to get up over, and Microsoft's catching a little bit of bid, so there could be a little bit in this market, but I want to see if it does fail hard. I want to catch it really fast. Enzo can come back if he wants. You don't have to encourage it, but if he wants to, don't stop him. Get into the habit of just clicking that lockout button and then moving on and trading the next day. That's what this whole thing is about. It's about making your proper executions every single day over and over and over and over and over again, right? We're here, we're in this to be able to do it consistently over time, right? You don't want to just do things just to do them. I'm going to actually get rid of this order. You don't want to just hammer into things just to hammer into them. You don't want to just click buttons just because it's fun. You want to make sure that you have a really solid plan, and you want to be able to execute that plan over and over and over again. You want to be able to have the ability to come out tomorrow, make these plays, get funded, take money out of these markets, right? I switched over to the 100K to try and catch another little piece of this failure. If it wants to do it, it's going to come pretty quickly. With NVIDIA and Microsoft kind of pushing up and this being relatively weak, I think if either of those sell off at all, then you're going to get some more follow through on this. And this is a little, show from yesterday where these trends tend to break. Hey, Max. What's up, buddy? Thank you, Max. Max comes in, gives me a hug, and leaves. He's a big fan of the stream. I love the lockouts. I love when people make their money today and move on, right? If I was not streaming, I would be done for the day. I would have left. I would have gone and enjoyed the rest of the day. But I'm here. I am streaming. I got to follow, the mentor mentality, right? I want to be able to be here for you when you're here, you're trading, you're doing your thing, you're making good decisions, trying to provide you the value of, what levels I see, what's happening in Microsoft, what's happening in NVIDIA, what's happening in the news, what's happening with the FOMC rate decision, anything that I can see that could be potentially of use for you. I want to try and talk through it. I want to try and be valuable. I want to do something that's going to be a help. So if you are passing combines, I'm very happy that you're doing it here with us. If you're making progress towards passing combines, also really grateful that you're here. Anything that you do that's positive, post it, fucking make it be known, because that's a really big milestone in your career as far as trading is concerned. So I'm proud of everybody who's had a good day so far today along with me. I am going to say we copy traded 2 times, up $700 across 2 accounts, $1,400 day today. Nice little up and to the right on the profit curve. We are eligible for a payout. So that is cool. If you want to see the actual, I'll copy it for you. If you're in YouTube and you haven't been here before, here is the link to my trade report on Top Step X. You can click that and see it if you're in the Tradecaster lobby. I just posted my trade report. So it is updated live at every point during the day. This is our month so far. We ended July super strong here. We have not taken a red day on stream at all yet. A really, really good week this week. Already up over 1,000 on the week, halfway through. I was gonna wait till Friday to take the payout, but I think I'm gonna do it end of the month payout. Strategy here. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I gotta wait for those to settle, I guess, for them. Show it on the dashboard, but you can see right here on the dashboard, 5 winning days total, 5 over 200. So we are eligible for the payout, and we're gonna take it. I'm gonna take everything down to 2,000 and leave a $2,000 buffer in here. So 3,400 there, and 34, give or take $1,500 per account, $1,400 per account. And we're going to go ahead and just keep trading it. And every time we hit off on the milestones, and we could build that buffer up maybe a little bit more here and there every time. And I don't know why I'm up, and now I'm logged out for some reason. Okay, there we go. Poet. Do you like pina coladas and passing combines? Hell yeah. All right, I think this 100K is going to get triggered in here. So I'm going to switch over to that. Let's see if this 100K gets triggered in. See if we can make some money on it. If it's going to hold, it's going to hold now and run. If it's not going to hold, if it's going to give up, like I said, relatively weak compared to NVIDIA and Microsoft. We do have no size that I see really on the books. I feel like everything should be rotational up into FOMC. There's some little bit of size at 415, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's not like a huge lot. I feel like it's more of an algo pull than anything. Delta's not really super strong. It is trying to creep back up here, trying to make new highs. Price isn't following through. Running into a wall at 400. No big size on the time and sales. You can see time and sales showing nothing on it as far as large size. I have this set for a 10, a filter. I'm in a really good groove of losing on the 100K, because after I make my really focused, perfect, planned out trades, I tend to get a little quick on the gun with the 100K. But this setup right here was absolutely A+, right? We saw it pull out. I said we could go long from that previous day high. Once you get long through that high of the day, if you squeeze into 400 and you fail 400, then overnight highs should flush you right back down into the previous day high, which pretty much we did to the tick. And then I gave it $100 wiggle room. So I could have made $100 more, but I wanted to let it get a chance to get through that previous day high and accept back into yesterday's range in order to try and, wait for that FOMC meeting. And that's kind of what I was looking for there. It didn't quite break. So this now we'll see if we're going to squeeze through 400 again, or we're going to kind of walk its way up until that meeting, or are we going to rotate off this level, right? Are we going to come back down through it and try and get back in to VWAP? That's the question of the day. I think we can get up into that upper band of VWAP too. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility right there, up to 500. NQ does what it wants. So, I'm going to switch over to the 100K, looking like we're going to get triggered into it and see if we can manage it well enough to make some money on it. I'm going to just let it go, see if I can get down through. If it does get down through the overnight high and trigger us in, then down through previous day high should try and play. It just has to hold the bottom. It's got to get through the bottom of the opening range. My 1 minute opening range, that is. We're bouncing account to account. Lorenzo's back for some more trading. Wants to learn. You want to learn a little bit?
Yeah.
Come on, sit down. Take a seat, big boy.
I got a seat and so.
All right, family time here in the Policing Pips lobby. We are 30 minutes into the trading session. It's 9:01 a.m. The price came right into that overnight high and rejected and bounced. We're still trying to hold over 400. If it gets over this high, see if it'll squeeze on up and get through. 420s is a level it likes to run into, and then see if it gets through 20s. Like I said, 500 could come in. That upper band of VWAP is not right there up at 507. It's definitely a possibility. There's a 40 lot sitting at 430. See if that fills up. You make that great trade this morning, and now you just kind of look for that next one. If you are actively into trading all day, if that's what you look for. Let's see if we can get a rejection of the overnight high in the S&Ps now. La 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 la. Once again, do we fail this high and rotate right back down through that overnight? You see the wick here, that there should be orders there holding this up before getting through here. So stops, maybe there's some more sellers down here that they want to accumulate. Then maybe we can get some heaviness coming in after that failure again of 420, right? And if the S&Ps can reject that level, Microsoft could sell off from 419.27, and it's still holding below 419. Nvidia is creeping up still, but running into a consolidation area where there's been sellers. I think 115.97 for Nvidia would be the ideal sell location. So, Nvidia could continue to drag us up. If Nvidia gets to 115.97, 116, then I would see if if we're at a key point in the NASDAQ, and see if that's going to give us any sort of good selling. Any good selling, right, Lorenzo?
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now on Version Studio.
Oh, yes. You're having a good time, Hans. Oh, what's up, Max? We closing the door? All right, Max, closing the door. Close the door. Anybody have anything they're looking at, maybe thinking that this is just going to continue to grind to the upside here? This is something that I'm looking at right here.
Dad, you're on the gold level. What does that mean?
That means that I got funded gold. The gold accounts there is a funded account. So that's a good observation there, Lance. Good job.
A fund account? What does a fund
So, Scott, you passed yet? I know you're definitely hammering buttons here. I don't see that you... So you got one passing. You need 240 or 270 to pass a second. Ray passed his account today, so we got two passes. What happened to the other one? Talk to me. Are you still clicking buttons, or are you waiting? You clicked too many buttons, didn't you? That's what happens when you overdo it a little bit. When you get too close, you don't need to get aggressive with it. You actually got to get a little tighter with what you're doing in order to maintain what you got going on. If you pass one, that's good. We're going to start with that as a step in the right direction. Don't allow that proximity to targets, arbitrary targets, to have you get away from your trading plan. You want to stick with your trading plan.
Yeah, what happens if you take one of the red lines and then take it to the end of the red line?
So if you sell the top of the red line and you buy it at the bottom, you make money on the bottom. That's technically, you shorted the market there.
No, I meant like, what happens if you take the end of like the top of the end of the red?
Okay. And we're taking where to?
I take it.
You see how they're moving like this?
Take it next to. Make it next to the green all the way at the end.
So if I bought it or sold it on this candle and then I bought it over here, then you technically make some money on that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's try it.
We're going to try it. We're
Yeah.
going to try it. Okay. So I'm going to teach you all about how this works.
Yeah.
You know, you're 6 now. So in a few years, we're going to make you a profitable trader, okay?
A profitable trader.
Profitable trader.
You're gonna be with me, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Because I'm still learning.
Yeah, you're learning still. Watch this S&P reject this overnight high. If this continues to reject, then potentially this rotation comes down. If not, if this will give up and follow, then maybe this squeeze of the NQ will help squeeze out this S&P. So just watch those two. NVIDIA is creeping up towards that high. I think if NVIDIA could get into that 115.97, that 116, that's when you're going to start to see maybe some resistance here in the NQ. I'm going to get into, like I said, I think 500 is like that high end there. But S&P's is doing a really good job of holding that overnight high. This is going to push, probably crack. And then only when NVIDIA gets up to that level, because it's, like I said, it's still pushing up, but it's not squeezing through key levels. It's not getting really strong push to the high side. And you can see the aggressive sellers here.
How far is she going?
She can go as far as she wants. Either way. She doesn't have any stopping.
How far did she go? As far as you did?
Oh, yeah. Currently, we're locked out of our 50K accounts. We're up $700 across the two, $700 on each account, so $1,400 a day in less than 30 minutes. NVIDIA is creeping up into that 115.70s. If it gets, like I said, up into that 115.97, 116, then we're going to get some little bit of reaction there. I'm going to go ahead and switch up the tunes a little. I'll go over to Top Step TV and listen to them in the background in case they do give out any news. All right, NVIDIA getting close. Getting close. Seeing if it'll get up over that level. S&Ps could potentially look to do the short on the S&P as opposed to the NASDAQ, right? Because it's at that level. So if we take this. I want to see NVIDIA fail that. I'm trading on these charts here, okay? Yeah. So these ones over here are the ones that I'm looking at. I use these to help. So I'm gonna see if I can do this with the S&Ps.
Use it.
We'll see. I want NVIDIA to whip up over that 116 and then come right back down. Oh, that was nice movement there. We'll see. We got some liquidity coming in. Let's see what I can do with the S&Ps. Are you waving to the camera? All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the S&Ps as a vehicle to trade this NASDAQ breakdown because we are still at the overnight high. NVIDIA is trying to sell. Microsoft trying to sell from key levels. I think we do have some selling still to come into S&Ps. So I'm going to give the S&P trade here a little bit of movement. If this NASDAQ breaks here, I'm trading the 100K on the S&P right now. And then if we could break down below this opening range, then you could probably get some really good movement into that VWAP. Maybe I add to it down there based on the way we've been trading lately. I just want to see what happens with these names. This 100K is down a little bit on that one attempt at trying to catch what we caught in the 50Ks. I'm just going to be my parrot. So you can see NQ trying to break that level right there. And so we're going to take the short because it's going to be through our level sooner on the 100K. With Nvidia selling off, Microsoft selling off, should induce some of this heaviness.
Dad, where is Paris? Can Paris actually copy?
Yeah, Paris can copy people.
So Paris can talk?
Paris can talk.
That's a new scientist thing to say.
Not super aggressive on the seller. Didn't quite break down there. Nvidia is getting heavy from its top, so this should start to get heavier. This might be just a liquidity grab there in the S&Ps. I'm doing this as using my levels. I'm trying to work on like what we talked about last week, how I didn't do it on the S&Ps because it was Friday, all that fun stuff. This is the level here. I'm trying to not trade away from my levels, but this is still a valid level, that 55.48. You can see it's strong, and if it gives up on the S&Ps, it should give up and get heavy if the NQ is going to sell off. If the NQ doesn't sell off and it just rotates through here, then we're not going to come back down through that 55.48. So we are using this chart, trading this level. We're using the NQ chart, trading the S&P levels. Because S&P is a little bit relatively, it's trying to catch up, it feels like right now. And if it's relatively weak compared, then we're going to see if we can get some of this to follow through.
Can we go to the zoo one day and see if it actually copies us a parrot?
We can find a parrot somewhere, I'm sure.
Or maybe we can...
so some parrots already know what they say. They say what they get taught, and some parrots copy. 50-50 ain't so bad. That's right.
So the red parrots to copy?
I don't know what color parrots copy, to be honest. I'm not a bird expert, but I just know parrots do have some copy abilities.
Well, maybe a scientist on them.
Scientist on them, huh?
I don't even know what that means. But
so you can see this 103... Damn. Is that even possible? Would you lose 3K on that? You were up 1,000 and lost 2? Oversized, over leveraged, revenge trade, everything that you weren't supposed to do, you did.
Ding dong.
So that's something to just note for yourself. I told you, I warned you. I tried to warn you. I didn't know that you were going to do that. Don't do any of those things. I said, once you get close, you pass that other one, great. Don't just try things, right? I'm trying to be the voice of reason in your ear. It's hard to do that, right? I understand, I've been there, I've done it. That's the reason I tell you not to do it, is because I've been there. The closer you get to an arbitrary number where you think I can make this, you're just going to start clicking buttons and chasing things that don't really exist. You're going to find setups that aren't there. You really need to get into I'm going to make the most perfect trade that, will pass this account. I'm going to wait for my A+ setup and then just hit it when it comes. And if I lose, I'm not going to revenge in it, because I could still know that 1 or 2 good trades gets me back in, and I'm passing that account. That's the biggest thing you got to realize, Scotty, and everybody in here, is everything is your own choice. At the end of the day, you click the buttons. I can only be here to just guide, and whoever you follow, whether it be me, whether it be Deck, whether it be AK, whether it be Riggs or somebody on YouTube, an Instagram guy, somebody you pay, they could only do so much for you, right? They can only do, you pass the combine. So don't let this other account mess you up, right? Yes. Don't let that other thing set you up. But like I said, I want you to kind of just get into that habit of fall into more cautious, more, as you approach those targets, fall into those really, really good habits. And that's when you don't do dumb shit. The huge don't do dumb shit. No, you're still halfway. You still have plenty of room in your drawdown. All that fun stuff is, it's there, right? Same thing about this 100K with me. Like I'm more, trying to bounce through multiple accounts. So it's not like I'm doing dumb shit. It's just that my timing is a little off because I'm focused on the actual great 100% A plus timing on my 50Ks on these accounts where I'm doing it right off the jump. I'm really focused in. I got my money. I made my trades. And then I go over to the 100K and try and replicate or duplicate. And it's just not quite, the timing's not there, right? You're not getting that full on timing. So you can see how it translates on my accounts as well for that, right? And it's not even for me, pressuring for anything. It's just that I'm trying them in a little bit less of an ideal situation, right? So with that being said, it is a great day for you to understand that you can pass these combines. It is possible with good discipline, with everything that you guys are doing. You're passing combines. You're out here enjoying the day. You're done by 9 o'clock passing a combine, passing a 100K, passing a 50K. Now that you've gotten over that hump, you can do it. So that's not the barrier now. It's how many times can you do it? It's how much can you pull out of them once they are funded. And then that's the next goal, is to not burn it. And not burn it. Let's go. Get ready for 2 Eastern, 1 o'clock Central for that FOMC meeting. This is now just continuing. I think we start to just continue to grind up with these names. I don't have any sort of real great setup on it, right? We're extending away from overnight highs, away from the previous day highs. Our opportunities were right here. It's where we made our money. We took 2 executions here and here, and we banked. This one, I stopped out at even on just slightly too quick of a trail. This one, I let this thing play out exactly how I thought it was going to go. And now we are party level, locked out and done, and trying to see what we can just glean from the market leading into that 2 o'clock meeting. Like you said, get a good opportunity. Likely we're going to get rate stagnation, right? But we want to see what the guidance is moving forward, right? I got to get rid of this order. It doesn't need to be here. And we're here. Okay. I'm going to stay on these accounts so we can just kind of show the lockout feature, show everything in real time. I'm not going to execute anything right now, so we are kind of just going to continue on to the upside. Looks like that 500 number, like I was talking about here, that 507 was going to be interesting. But now this upper band is kind of creeping away from us. So more and more likely that we're going to try and push up a little bit higher. 500 is a psychological number, right? If you got long from 4 to 5 is 100 points right there. Can you not do that? Because it's on the people's headphones and on the computers, that's going to be loud. Yeah, you don't want to make loud noises.
Why is there dots?
So those dots are orders that are getting filled and trades that are being made. Bigger dots means more contracts got sized in, and smaller dots means they were just smaller contracts. And then the colors of the lines means that if it's darker red, that means there's more orders.
I know what you can make money on. If you take one that's all the way the last red. The last red ever, and take it to one of the other reds that the pointing line
yeah,
is pointing at the red, and put it there. I think we can get another money.
Oh, you think you can get another money for it? All right. Well, good ideas. We will show our executions on here so you guys can see. If you've come in and don't trust what we have just stated. Took that first short, got stopped out at even, took the second time through, and basically, I wanted to see if this was going to flush, so I gave it about 5 points of breathing room. Then got stopped out down at the low, so we entered. Got in, got short, trailed it down, and let it breathe just a touch till it got to the previous day high tick. Basically called that tick low, and we rallied out of that. This one here kind of gave us that indication that we were going to maybe sweep that low and then rotate back higher. That would have been more convincing for a long, to be honest, if this swept up and through the low. That's why I tried the short at the retest. Max, you can come back. This is why I tried that short retest on the 100K, and I gave up. I cut it because I thought if we were gonna go long like this, you were gonna take some of these stops from down here and rotate out. But that's cool with me. It's actually kind of perfect because now my drawdown on leader will be 3K. Yeah, absolutely. It works out. If you pass one and you move on to the next. Now, my recommendation is, even if you activate that XFA today, don't trade that until Monday. Or if you want to trade it tomorrow, go for it. But for the realistically, I think you should work on that second combine for the rest of the week. See how much you can get back from what you made today and gave back or whatever. And then move on to starting fresh on a Monday in your XFA. I usually don't like to start my XFAs middle of the week. That's not my bag. I don't like to do that. I want to see a fresh new week and all that stuff. I always go to 11 ends.
11?
Yeah, 11's when I go. Yeah, you got to learn from experience. Like I said, as much as I could tell you. Yeah, I'm off today. We're going to go do something afterwards.
Yay.
Well, you avoided one rebill. That's good. Even if you were trying to avoid the rebill, it doesn't mean chase, right? You could still wait all day for another execution. I know you want to go to bed, but...
Rebill. Couple little.
You avoid one rebill. You got to pay $150 for an activation, and now you're good to go. But like I said, try and avoid trading that tomorrow. Enjoy it, relish in it, set a plan up for it, because I've done it where I've passed and I've burned it in 2 days. I've done it.
We can take
You need a haircut.
a red part from all the way to the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to the green all the way next to the thing that the red point that's.
Does this give us this breakdown now? Do you think so? Nvidia is now selling off, pushing into 113, 114, and Microsoft is selling.
We should get that green thing all the way at the end, put it next to all the way at the other red at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Put it next to the green, next to the red pointing.
So I can't move it. It moves on its own, and I just click the buttons when it goes. Let's see if there's any free resets, any offers that they're gonna off. I don't hear any. I haven't heard anything lately of it.
Oh, I'm Maximus, and I do.
Do you normally trade 2 contracts, Scott? And today you just traded one randomly?
Wow, Max, you're hilarious. Right. No, I want to speak.
Okay, then be quiet. No, you've just been trading one contract at a time? That works. That's what I do. Right? One contract at a time.
100 contracts. I do 100 contracts.
That's actually not bad.
How about you do 2 contracts, Dad?
I would like to do 2 contracts, but I got to build a bigger buffer to go with 2 contracts.
What's a bigger buffer?
When I purchase a combine, I have a discount in the web page about 20%. That's good. Yeah, I think the link that I have sometimes gives a little bit of a discount. I haven't seen anything like where they're offering like free resets or free accounts. If I get any free resets or free accounts or anything that I see them doing, I will send them over to you. I do like this short idea here. At some point, this trendline crack is going to hold and rotate. Microsoft's still holding up a little bit strong, right? Still, it pushed up on the open and then sold them immediately off. So we still are technically, I guess, red on the day with Microsoft from the open. And NVIDIA is trying to get back down through 113.70. If it does get down through 113.70, I think it could start to get some selling pressure into yesterday's high of 111.93, 112. and that could lead this to go down. But I'm not trusting it. It could just continue to do the uptrend until the market.
Or you should let the computer move the two greens.
Yeah, that's not what they're doing. The computer's doing it. It's dancing around. It's moving.
Dancing around.
It's dancing around, dancing in the streets.
Wow. So you don't have to do anything?
I don't have to do anything until it's ready for me to do something. So the biggest thing we learned is being patient, let our levels come into play, and then we just click buttons when the levels come in. If we win or lose, it's okay, because if we win more than we lose, then we make money on it. Okay? That's the goal. That's what I'm teaching you. It's what I'm teaching them.
Win, you get money?
Yes. This is what I do. I do this for money. Today I made $700 times, so $1,400 today.
$1,400.
Mm-hmm. That's 114 times, or
I think you
1,400 times.
I think you can get like a million.
Oh yeah. I like the dreams here. I hope everybody heard that. I think I could get 1 million, so we're gonna have to shoot for 1 million.
If you get to 1 million, you have to do whatever you say.
Scott says, I need to ask ChatGPT to access the algorithms that the big players use and then tell it to make me a bot that trades perfectly against those algos.
A bot.
So I have a
robot.
I'm coding mine currently for the strategy that I play.
Dad, tell somebody to give you a robot.
Yep. Hold on a second. Let me finish talking.
Robot in our family.
Yeah, you want a robot in the family? I'm going to go over to
we can tell
NASDAQ.
It whatever we want it to do.
Oop.
So when you go out to dinner, the robot can take care of us.
Oh, you want the robot to take care of you?
We can
That's
have a
crazy.
robot dog too.
Yeah, early compound interest definitely would get him 1 million for sure. So, Scott, I've been trying to code out my strategy as much as I can. I can't get cumulative delta to work properly, and some of the levels aren't populating. But if you go over to this, it says my mean reversion strategy for NQ. I've been coding that on the Pine editor, and it populates these blue lines. This right here, blue, orange, red, and green. That's the overnight high. These are the levels that I populate every time. Everyone definitely does need a C3PO. If I could have a C3PO, that'd be fantastic. If we get back down through this yellow dotted line and into this downtrend again, I think we could return back into that. Like I said, yesterday's previous day high is a decision point to crack through and even rotate even further downside. If we continue to hold this, we could rally up into what I said was 610, and the weekly write-up is up here. But I am coding my own algos there, Scott. I'm trying my best. I work on it, on the weekends to get the algos to work, but it's not very easy to get Pine Editor to do what you want it to do. The Pine Editor gets a little confused sometimes, and the levels don't work ideally. The overnight, the previous day high and low populates perfectly. Overnight high and low works great until midnight, and then it stops.
Dad, how do you put this lower?
What, the head or the... You want to lean back, sit straight, sit on it?
Lean.
Yep, and then you pull this lever and lean back. There you go. Yeah, I'm trying to create it. I'm trying to get it to populate. You got crude oil coming out right now.
Crude oil. What does that mean?
Strategy tester shows my strategy is not working on this. I'm trying to get it to show what I do on this chart. It's not really easy.
Not really easy.
I do. I'm trying to get the clock to start. So I've adjusted so the code works. For some reason, like at midnight, it populates a different number and changes the day. So the change of day gets angry. And if I do the overnight print as just from 1700 to 1700, it sometimes works. Sometimes the code just gets funky. So I'm just doing troubleshooting on it and working through it. But I have ChatGPT help me a little bit on it as well. Yeah, it's a daily Y2K. Absolutely.
Wait, what is it funny? I don't get it.
No, yeah, the computer is fine. The trading view doesn't like it. I need to now just, I'm going to tell you to sit on your hands. I'm away from my levels, right? We executed, we made our money before 9 o'clock, right? Our last execution was 8:44. So in 15 minutes, we made ourselves a nice 1,400 bucks. Can't beat that. We don't do that in a week, right? For some people, don't take that home in a week, and we're taking that home. Everything I made today, I'm taking a withdrawal tomorrow. I'll do it on stream. I'll show you how to do it. Basically, if you go into here, I'll make sure it's on the right screen. You go into here and you go payout request. I'm allowed to do 50% of all my profits. So we're going to let this thing take its time because Top Step has so many people on it in the back end that it tends to take its time with the payout request area. So I'll let this thing kind of do its thing in the background, allow you to see what's going on here. This is what I did mention. If we do get through the upper end of this channel, in my write-up, I did say that we probably roll into 610. And once we get up into 610, that's going to be a decision point, right? That was where that contract roll happened. I don't know if we get it today. I mean, definitely after the FOMC meeting, we're going to get a decision. Either we push up into there or we push down. If we start to accept back up above 610 and up into 760, then I would anticipate all-time highs coming in either by the end of the week or end of next week. So we're going back to here. You could do either wise transfer or ACH. I always do the ACH. It's got my name, my accounts, and then I have 2,700 on this account that I can pull out because it's as of yesterday, right? The as of yesterday number. Currently, we're up 3,500 on each account. So what we would end up doing is just doing these two accounts. They're both eligible for payouts. I could switch one. No, it won't rebill you.
Rebill.
It will. It'll show that you passed. They do the calculations at 5 o'clock. It'll show that you passed, and then it'll not bill you. If it does bill you, I would just tell them to not do that. They usually don't do the rebill, unless you get rebilled in the morning. Usually it's the morning. It'll say it. But like I said, this is how you get the payouts. I'm going to do this tomorrow. So I'm going to just show you how it works. You know, all you do is say, I want to take out 1,400 bucks. Or you click the back button on accident and you mess up. So we'll now go back to there. My mouse has a back button on it. So I accidentally clicked the mouse. This is passing. What is your passing number? So as long as your target is what? 6,000, right? You need to make 6,000. Are any of your days? I didn't get the link. Send me it in a text. You sent it to me in a text. That's what. No, send me in a text. For some reason, I think that maybe you can't do it as a viewer. Send in the stats. So this is how it will work tomorrow. Like I said, I've got to get today's money populated, right? So what I'm going to do is I click all these buttons. You understand. You type in your request amount, and then it's in your bank account the next day. So I'm going to do this twice. So we're going to take out 2,800 bucks for the month of July. So I'm pretty happy about that. Still kind of just rallying on up here. I'm going to just switch on over to the performance stats page right here, pushing on up, another up and to the right kind of day. We didn't trade the entire month of July because we didn't access these accounts until the second week, right? First week of July, didn't have the accounts all ready and set up. Hurricane, the red one was a losing day there, and sometimes you have losing days. It's not in mobile, huh? Interesting. I don't know why it doesn't work. Send it to me in an email if you want at daytradingcoffeecode@gmail.com.
How many days you've been doing?
Yep.
You just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Only 14.
Yeah, 14 days. Good job. Good counting. Love it.
Why only 14 days?
I don't know.
Do you have to do all these other numbers? This is your calendar. What happens when you finish the calendar?
It just goes to the next month. So then August, July, every month changes, right? When we do months. Scott sent me an email. See if his is a pass or not. Let's see if he passes or not. 6,028. Your best day total profits 46%. Looks good. 106. Looks like you passed. No, those are good. That's fine. Best trade, worst trade. Your best trade is double your worst trade. That's all that matters there. And you got green all of July. You did it in a month. That's all that matters right there.
He got more failures than you. You got only one fail.
For you to pass your first combine in your first month, when you're like coming back into this world, that's fantastic. It's like a really great feat. Your money management is really, really great. Obviously, there's little adjustments that you need to make, right? That FOMO, stuff with that other account and all that stuff. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that is a pass right there. 6,028.80. And like I said, your best day is only 46% of your profits. So 46%, it's got to be under 50. So looks like you passed, my guy. I would go and enjoy today and really just, go take a nap, do whatever you got to do before going to work or whatever you got going on. I don't know. And then be done. Yeah, be done. Today is a Fed day, right? The rest of the day is going to be pretty...
My dad's doing the teaching stuff.
Right? There's grinding action to the high side up into that 500.
People?
I am. They're listening. They're listening to you talk.
Teaching people. Yeah.
Be back in the morning. I'll be here. Same time, same place. Every single day. Trying to catch this spot. Say later. He said later, Enzo.
Later.
Say bye, Scott.
Bye, Scotty.
Bye, Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. You didn't know that, right?
No.
Actually, before Scott goes, I think he needs a little pump up music here for his success. He successfully passed the combine, so he's gonna get his congratulations music here. Give me a second, Scott. I hope you didn't leave yet because I'm giving it to you for passing your combine. This is what you get. This is what you get. Listen up, everybody. There you go, Scott. Just for you. Scotty doesn't know that he passed the combine. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. didn't know how bad the quality of this movie was.
It's a movie?
It's a movie. Yep. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. He doesn't know that he passed his combine and he's on to the next step of his trading adventure here.
How does he don't know? Because why is there a movie of his name?
Oh, because everybody knows that Scotty doesn't know. It's funny. Okay, we're back. Back to streaming about trading and not Scotty. All right.
Wait, those people are watching us right now?
Yeah, there's a few people on Tradecast, a few people on YouTube. They're all around the world here. We got people from South America, people from Dubai.
Desert.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that come from all over the world to learn about trading. Isn't that
and
cool?
Also, one of the coldest places, Antarctica.
Antarctica, yes, very good. I don't think there's anybody trading in Antarctica, but maybe we could be the first traders in Antarctica. Would that be cool?
Huh?
We could be the first traders in Antarctica.
Would it be cool if we actually have something that can swim underwater and we have all the food to ourselves and we don't have to worry about going under the ice?
That'd be cool too. I think you have great ideas. I think we need to listen to kids more because their ideas may come to be valid soon in this world.
To keep us alive! And we can make something that can go underwater and land to keep us alive. And it should be a submarine that goes on land and it goes in the Arctic and ocean.
Yeah, that's right. Carlos says if anybody passes the combine, we'll need to purchase a T-shirt or a coffee cup. Absolutely. And Carlos, when you get it, like I said, when you're ready to go and when you're ready to pass, I'm going to figure out a way to send you stuff down in your country because I know the coffee might not be able to ship with customs issues and stuff like that, but I could definitely send you a mug, a shirt, all that fun stuff. I'll make sure of it. So we'll work it out. So if that, when you do pass, Carlos, we're going to definitely make that happen for you.
Scotty doesn't know. No, not.
Ray is going to get his. Scott already ordered his mug. He should get his mug this week. Let's check on the shipping.
Muggy.
I think I'm getting mine today. My sample one for the Don't Do Dumb Shit Club. Don't do dumb shit, Enzo. All right. Our write up here. This is what I'm talking about.
Don't not do dumb shit.
Okay, we don't say it though.
Yeah.
All right, we keep it to ourselves. That's just for the stream, okay? Just for the stream.
So everybody can say in the world.
Mm-hmm. So this is what we're talking about here with our current setup with the levels. This has been holding this level here, holding. We are now. Well, that was holding earlier in the week. So now we're in a new territory of that, right? I was talking about here. A retest of the contract gap could be a real test if the bulls keep control, or it will be a good area for the sellers to step back in heavy. Above the zone puts us back into last week levels and beyond to all-time highs, right? So that's what I was talking about over here. And we're kind of approaching those levels now. So I think into the
party zone.
Yeah, we'll call it a party zone. There's a contract gap up there. If we get into there, that could be an interesting area for moving forward. And I think that's going to happen after the Fed meeting. We're going to see what kind of guidance they got. The Fed meeting is when they decide the interest rates for banks, basically.
What does that even mean?
It's what makes things...
In trading, they have possible words to say.
Yeah, it's definitely different words. Mommy said she needs you for a second. Go ahead and check out what she needs and then come back.
Yes, Dad.
You can take Optimus with you if you need. Okay, sounds good. Looks like everybody's passing combines today. I love it. I mean, like I said, all it takes is working our levels, doing it kind of early in the day, allowing whatever to happen afterwards to happen, right? Just because moves happen in the day like this, right, is uptrend here, unless you had a plan in place to go long, say, from the previous day high. We reject the previous day high, we rotate up. That's a good plan to have, right? Otherwise, there's nothing here telling me, for me, in my strategy, that this could be a long or this should be a short here, right? I was talking about certain areas where the shorts could come into play, right? If this were to catch up, if NVIDIA were to get to a level and fail, if Microsoft were to pull back, because we were showing relative weakness. And in order to try and trade these levels...
I'm leaving now.
Okay.
Bye, traders.
Say bye.
Bye.
Everybody say bye. Here, you can come in, step in front of the camera, say what's up.
Bye.
Say hello, goodbye. This is who's been talking the whole time. This is the big guy.
Big boy.
You're going back to school soon.
Yes.
All right. Say later.
Later, camera.
I'll be done in a little bit, okay, bud? Close the door. Thanks, dude. We are just sitting on our hands now. FOMC later, like I said, not much else to do. I don't really have, like I said, we're away from our levels. There's nothing for me to be doing right now. This could start to come into play. You can see our executions here, break even on that one. Took our nice little $700 winner and called it a day. So, like I said, overall, super satisfied on talking through what we wanted to see, executing on it. This trail, I did mention, it was a little bit loose for me, a little bit tight for me. Could have caught more of this move and basically doubled what we had there. But just stayed patient, allowed it to get into that previous day high, saying that we could take a long here up through 400. Any sort of failed break of 400 without a lack of follow through should present a failed breakout, right? Failed breakout gives us that nice push down. And I said, if we get to previous day high, I'm going to really trail super tight to the previous day high because I want to see if it's going to break. If it's not going to break, it's going to do the same rotation, which obviously we see it happened. But I got out right here at 331. So I trailed just over that body here and then got wicked out on it. And obviously you can see we made as much as we could on it by allowing, like, if we were to break this previous day high, I was going to trail right on top of it. Then you can allow further movement down through the lows. And that's what I was looking for there. And we caught as much of it as possible. And I'm not looking for huge home runs on a day-to-day basis, right? That's a great, nice base hit, like maybe a stretch it into a double. Could have been 2 really good base hits there for a nice, good, clean day. But overall, like I said, we're very, very happy with the month of July, sticking to our plan, everything we did. We got people passing combines. I'm taking a payout today. Like everything that we did as a team shows that the consistency and discipline and doing it and sticking to the same plan every single day and being okay with those $50 days, those $80 days, those really small losing type days for the days to make that up and to the right profit curve be a reality, right? I did say that I told myself that I was potentially going to not take a payout until I hit the 5,000 mark. But I think that, rewarding ourselves, paying ourselves is what this is all about. So I'm going to take the payout for July. I'm going to take it tomorrow on the 1st, and we'll be able to get that there. But right now, like I said, we're locked out of these accounts, up $1,400 on the day. I'm going to take what I made today, basically, out on each account. So I'm taking out everything over that 2,000 mark, and then I'm going to just try and build it up again over the next couple weeks and just stick to the plan and, eventually just hopefully be able to take out the same every week, every 2 weeks, as it presents itself. So, something I've learned for sure, you could be up 10,000 and burn it all. So taking the payouts when you make the money is a very smart idea. Take your money and go if you do have the opportunity to do it. Don't take the whole thing. Obviously, you can't in Top Step. They only limit you to 50%, but I think that's a smart thing, right? I think it's great that they limit you to that because you realistically don't want to take the whole thing. You want to keep that buffer in there so you can keep trading. Across 2 accounts, we're up 7,000 for the month of July. So can't be upset at that. Having a $7,000 month was something that I definitely, not that I was, thought was out of the realm of possibilities, but, over the course of the years, you get to the point where you're like, I'm just going to be regulated to doing whatever, right? Like, it just seems like maybe something might happen. but it might not. Where is it delivered? Is it delivered into... I'm trying to find where my package got delivered to so I can find it. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. This is a good area. I mean, like, I have these key zones drawn up for reasons. I do think that the NQ needs to accept back in below 400 before you get any sort of interest in taking the shorts. This could just be consolidated retest and push back up. But like, I mean, you can see it now rolling. Once this finally gives up that trend, the rollover begins, and it's just pretty clear cut. Pretty clear cut. $9.52. We're about at that 10 o'clock hourly close. Don't have anything on the releases. There is a bill auction at 10:30 that could move markets, but not much. That's at 10:30. And then, but 10:30 is also Euro close. It's going to be interesting with how everything's going. 1 o'clock is the big number, even though it's going to likely come out at 5.5%. The likelihood of a rate cut here is very, very limited. What did the Bank of Japan do? I know the Bank of Japan had a release. Bank of Japan. I could just go back to the calendar. Add country, add Japan. JK, LMNOP, Japan. Save. Japan was supposed to... I thought they had theirs... No? I thought they had theirs today. Oh, it was probably last night and it's not showing, so... This week? BOJ rate decision. They have it now at 0.25%. So the Bank of Japan raised its key short-term interest rate to around 0.25% from 0 to 0.1%. So the BOJ actually is raising rates while everybody else is looking to cut rates. The Bank of Japan is interesting in the fact that they do a little bit of a little bit different. They keep their rates super low. It is a safe haven asset that people do like to roll into the Japanese yen. So just getting that next little, quarter of a percent on the money there is interesting. So just kind of note that. I don't think that's going to indicate anything for us here, but I think that does lead to a hold pretty much clearly, as opposed to any other types of moves. Yeah, I think they're gonna go and hold at 5.5%. The press conference is just gonna be Jay Powell with his little rhetoric, and then he's gonna say everything seems good. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then when X, Y, and Z happens, then maybe we're gonna cut rates. Inflation seems to be coming down. The job market seems to be strong. Yada 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 yada, and so on and so forth. And then that's going to be exactly what you get out of it. $9.55, 5 minutes to an hourly close. In my rules, I usually, if I'm going to be trading, I don't trade within the 5 minutes of an hourly close. I like to see what happens with this hour, right? You can see we got a reprieve. We got a pullback from that big rally that we've been having. Huge. It's not really very big, but that choppy grind to the high side got a little pressure valve release and pulled back at a key level on the S&Ps. On the NQ, we are up into an area that, like I said, that right around that 500 could be a reactive level, and then rotate back down through 4. If you rotate back down through 4, then who knows if you can get back through and into these levels here. See if that's going to give up, right? Is VWAP going to finally come into play down here at the previous day high? Or are we going to start to catch a bounce at the overnight high again? Are we going to remain over the opening range? There's a lot of things to think about here. I don't normally like to look for anything, especially on a Fed day, this late in the session. Obviously, it's not that late, but it's, an hour and a half, 9:56, 10 o'clock here. I am pretty much just here as a support system. If anybody has any questions about like what's going on today, FOMC, what the rate decision stuff is, let me know. Type some questions into the chat. I would really like to be kind of helpful on a day like today. Like I said, every day that I'm here, where I'm only here for, basically, oops, that's not it. I'm here as like a support system, right? Because I'm calling out my trades. Much of my strategy happens, especially if we're opening on overnight highs, or we're opening on overnight lows, or near previous day levels. My strategy comes into play quick, and then we're done, right? I want to be in and out, get done in this market, and when this builds itself into something that's way more self-sufficient, right? The more funding I get, the more accounts I'm copying, the more money I'm trading, right? The bigger the buffer, the bigger the size can be. And in still relative terms, right? You're still risking the same percentage. You're still risking all that, but your wins get bigger. Your losers get bigger also, but you're able to manage it just the same. So just showing this consistency is what I want to do for you here. Like that's my goal. I don't need to be the ultimate guru. I don't need to be the person out here who's going to be giving you every answer. I'm not going to give you all the entries, all that stuff, all the entries and exits. I just think you can figure that out. I just think at the end of the day, your goal is to be able to do this self-sufficiently, be able to keep yourself accountable, right? I'll be your accountability partner. You talk to me, you send me information, you give me questions. I'm going to answer them. I'm going to do my best to do that. But, if I got nothing, I'm not going to just go into it. So if nobody's got anything, I'll probably get off at 10:30-ish. Give me 1 minute. I want to see something real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, it might be in the mailbox. Alrighty. This is where we're looking at those entries. So like I said, using some of the divergences that we have here with the indexes, right? Seeing that when the NQ is going to break down, if you're at a key level in the S&Ps, should give you that good opportunity to do the same thing, right? There's just, NVIDIA looks like it's bull flagging right now, like it's kind of wedging out and looking to maybe pop again. Microsoft is pushing back up again. Apple leading into tomorrow is selling off a little bit, not crazy. AMD did well on earnings and is rotated and is negative on the day. Trying to give some semblance of a plan. Realistically, leading into FOMC, it's pretty much a chill rest of the day. Then leading into the meeting, probably right around that meeting time, like right an hour beforehand, you might see some volatility, some positioning, and then afterwards, see what happens. You get that release, you get the algos to move, and then after the algos move it, you do end up having some settling, and then when that meeting comes out, everything kind of goes flat until Powell says the magic words of whatever. It says at parcel locker. 10:22 a.m. at the parcel locker. Just another beautiful day here at tradecaster.com. I'm going to go ahead and post a little post. All right. Let's get this thing going. I'll start making some new videos as I get into a better rhythm. Fueled by Day Trading Coffee Co. As always, get off on a nice 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. Tradecaster.com. Policing Pips. Day Trading Coffee Company. You know the deal. Day Trading Coffee Co. As always, we hit off on a nice 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. Tradecaster.com. Policing Pips. Day Trading Coffee Company. You know the deal. Fueled by Day Trading Coffee Co. As always, we hit off on a nice 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. Tradecaster.com. Policing Pips. Day Trading Coffee Company. You know the deal. Fueled by Day Trading Coffee Co. As always, we hit off on a nice 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. Tradecaster.com. There we go. Gotta promote the Day Trading Coffee Co. Gotta promote the website. Gotta get people into Tradecaster. Eventually I'll get my 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. Tradecaster.com. Policing Pips. Day Trading Coffee Company. You know the deal. Fueled by Day Trading Coffee Co. As always, we hit off on a nice 694. Caught that short right there. We're done in about 15 minutes today. Everything always live. This is going to be the price action for the rest of the day, I think, for the most part. 10:05 here, a.m. Central Time. We are, like I said, we're very quick in making our money early, and then the rest of the session usually turns into kind of a don't do dumb shit chat with most of the community. I want everybody to understand that a lot of what you do here is sitting and waiting and watching. You're not executing over and over and over again, especially in the futures world, right? We're really waiting for a couple good A-plus setups on the day. We're going to take our money and we're going to run on it, right? When it comes down to maybe equities, you have a little bit more options if you're switching from name to name. If you got, Microsoft setting up here, you got Tesla setting up there, you got PMEC setting up and SPY doing this, right? Like you have a little bit more active, where you're hammering in and out if you're getting alerts or whatever you're doing when it comes to those setups. But even then, you still are doing your best to be flat 99% of the time. Get your trades in, get them out, be done. You're a day trader. You're not an investor. You're not a swing trader. You're not even a position trader, right? You're here to make your money in the day and be done, and to be able to do other things, pursue other businesses or other ideas, right? There's plenty of hours in the day. As I mentioned, this stream is a reality check. Today, the whole morning, my son was sitting next to me, asking good questions, playing, doing his thing, making him a part of it, which is a big thing for me. Just trying to keep the kids involved, keep them here. I do this in the morning. I run Day Trading Coffee Co. throughout the day, and then I have a day job, which is more of an evening job, right? 2 to 10. I work every day other than Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, in between all that, there's still opportunity to do everything else. So find that hour in the day, find those couple hours in the day where you can sit down, dedicate your whole attention to the chart, to your setups. And if your setups aren't there, you can walk away. It's not a big deal to not make a trade on a day, right? So for me, like I said, you can see steady curve up and to the right. We have one bounce up, a nice couple solid days, then you get another little leg up, solid days, then another leg up, right? It's all about, keeping your capital safe. You may have some pullbacks here and there. You just want to see this thing going from the bottom left to the top right, smooth, consistent, day in and day out. And just because you don't trade on a day, 16, 17, and the 24th, I sat here the entire day on the 24th and didn't click a button. 0 A+ setups. That to me is a green day if I ever, had one, right? Green day here by not clicking any buttons. Even last Friday, I waited the entire session and I got my setup right at like 11:15. So I stayed on until like 11:15 and took that one trade, really short, quick, and it didn't really yield much because I waited so long. Honestly, I could have even had no trades that day as well. But I got, it got right to my level right as I was going to get off. So I, owed it to you guys to stay on and understand what that setup looks like after the fact. 16th, 17th, those are green days to me too, because I planned on not trading. I had training. I wasn't there. I wasn't around. I wasn't going to click buttons on my phone. So allowing yourself the discipline to not click buttons on days is okay, right? You don't have to trade every day to consistently make pretty good money in these markets, right? I mean, overall, with that steady, $200 a day average-ish, give or take, my average winning trade isn't huge. It's 182, but my average losing trade, same deal, it's smaller than my biggest winner. My biggest winner is 3 times as big as my biggest loser, right? So that's what you want to keep. You want to keep these in check. Set those loss limits to, don't have those outsized losers. Eliminate the big loser and you're going to be just fine, right? There's 5 things you could do when you trade. You could have a big win, small win, break even, small loss, big loss. Get rid of the big loss and you're going to be consistently profitable longer term because you're not going to have the outlier day on the big loser. You may have a bigger winner, right? Based on runners. You're going to pretty much average those small wins and break evens if you're trading like me. And then at the end of the day, if we have a couple small losers like we do, happens, they're just going to be outweighed by the amount that we win on our percentages, right? I'm right around a 70% win percentage. I think this is slightly skewed because I did do a little bit too much on that first day. I think I am closer to 70%. Like yesterday, we went up, we lost one, and then we went back up. Day before that, we went from green to red, and then we made a nice comeback here. I mean, we were basically green to break even, but we took that one small loser. 2 wins and 1 loss nets you that winner, right? So you win more than you lose. You keep those losers small, and you do it the same every single day. And be boring about your trading. If you can be boring about your trading, you're going to make money and you're going to do it long term. And then the more you can copy it, right? That's one account. You can see right here, 50K leader stream account. This is the follower account. And it's just, I made a little bit more on this account, right? 34.44. This is 34.29. So slightly more in this account, 34.44. And we're going to be taking that withdrawal tomorrow once all the today's wins kick in, right? So we're going to go, this is going to say the daily closed account balance. So once that closes, that 3444, we're going to take $1,400 from each account, take the payouts, and move on to August. July has been our best month yet. Profit wise, it's close. I mean, April I made 4,000, but I didn't copy it across multiple accounts. So technically, 6,900, almost 7,000 in the month of July. I'll take that, month in and month out, and then just slowly build it to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? A nice little $2,800 payout, $1,400 and $1,400, $2,800. Can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at it. All right, I love it. Hell yeah. Celebratory bourbon, baby. Gonna watch you play some video games. Small amount of extra is what made me pass that one account. Hell yeah. Congrats. Yeah, no, Scott, you missed. I don't know if you missed it, but I played you some Scotty Doesn't Know just as a congratulations for your passing of the combine, getting into a funded account. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Ray. I'm proud of Carlos in here making money. Even though you're a little bit ways away from the passing, you're just still really early in the journey learning this. I know Scrooge over there locked himself out pretty early, was up a couple $100. Yeah, $2,800 is what you make in a month. If I can make myself an extra paycheck here and there and then slowly turn it into the full-time paycheck, right? That's, to me, if I could just be boring, be consistent. And then if you can do that and you can prove profitability in month after month after month, then you can prove that you can earn more capital and you can leverage that capital more and more and more, right? Yeah, it's worth it, but you got to be boring with it. You got to be consistent with it. You could see my consistency has been unwavering in this account, right? We're doing the right things all the time. I'm not trading overnight. Something that gets me in trouble sometimes. If I don't trade when I'm bored. If I've drank a little bit, I think about it. If you think about it and it's sometime during the day when you're not supposed to be trading, then just don't do it, right? Building that wall to stay disciplined is really the only thing. Yeah. New rule is no drinking until after you lock out. It's hard because, right, you lock out in the morning and it refreshes back at 5 o'clock. It's open at 5 and you don't want to lock out at 5 because then you won't be able to trade the next morning, right? The best thing to do is to go away from anything that's going to allow you to trade while you're, having a drink or two. If you can't discipline yourself. Yeah. If you can't discipline yourself, don't do it. Like I said, for me, there was a turning point. I was talking to Ray on the phone a few times where I just felt like I took that last little step back in my journey of doing really dumb things that created some issues. And that's kind of where that don't do dumb shit came out of, right? I've gotten past all these levels in this trading journey to a point where I'm like, all right, I've taken a payout, I've burned accounts, and every time I take a payout or something, I do over leverage to make money. There's no need for any of that. Or I'll be hunting for $200 days. Yeah, it's okay though. It happens, dude. Really, it does. You have your one pass account. You got to just kind of be happy, really, really happy with yourself that you're able to pass the first shot, give it a go. In 1 month, build up that 6K. You've proved concept. It's there. And now if you eliminate the dumb shit, right? You have actually just proven both concepts. When you do good and you trade well and you stick to plans and you don't do dumb shit, you pass the account. When you do dumb shit, like seeing an arbitrary $200, it shows you that if you try to hit something just to hit it, you're going to lose way more. So if you could avoid that where you're going to attempt to I need to make $200. No, well, the market didn't give it to you, right? Your setup yielded you this, and that's it. And you got to be content with what you have for the day. I am totally Like there a few days last month where I made $50. You have to be content locking out. Even yesterday. Yesterday I made 200 and change, and I could have made probably a couple thousand, right? But I just stuck to my setup, stuck to my plan. I trailed out, and if I were to have done some of the things yesterday where I was entering, if I would have entered in, say, at some of those breakdowns, those trend lines, and the continuation plays and stuff like that, those things could have worked. But then does that, unleash a beast inside of me that says, you can do it all the time. It's going to work. It's going to be always, you can do it. I don't want that to come out. I don't want to execute away from my levels. I don't want to do dumb shit. That's really what it comes down to. If I could avoid all of that, it's to just freedom, right? If I can understand that Jocko says it best, I got it right here. Oh, where are we at? Extreme ownership. I got all these books just right here. Extreme ownership. Book of the day here. Discipline equals freedom, baby. This is what it is. Extreme ownership is what it comes down to. Being the owner of everything that happens to you no matter what. Failed the account because you overtraded? Good. Right? That's what he would say. You failed the account because you did something dumb. Good. Now learn from it. What can you do better? What is the accountability? What does accountability look like to you, right? Like at the end of the day, no matter what aspect of your life you're in, be it trading, work, family, if you take extreme ownership to a point where you admit that everything is your problem, realistically, right? In your life, you're the controller of your destiny, and whatever happens is a generative, full on, you made decisions, you got to this point because X, Y, and Z. Now you're here. What can you do now to move on from whatever has happened or whatever you're doing and get better, Right. If you think about what you could have done better, that is what is good about it, right? In every bad situation, there's always like, how could we improve this situation moving forward? How can we handle this call a little bit better? How can we be a better father? How can we do one more rep in the gym? How can we do, not take this short next time? Like, what's going to let me not take this short next time when I think it's going to be a short, but it's away from my level? It's like, things that you can control them. And when you start to become that overly accountable, I'm telling you, I fell into the traps of, oh, my platform didn't work. Oh, I shouldn't have been in that trade because this happened. Or, oh, I meant to be in on one contract and I clicked it on accident and hit 3, and I didn't hammer out. And maybe one time I made money on it, so the next time I did it and I didn't, and I lost a whole lot more than I should have, right? All those mistakes are things that, I could have prevented with a little bit more extra care, and doing those mistakes made me learn from them, made me be a lot more careful. I don't make those excuses anymore where I'm like, oh man, the platform didn't work, it was choppy, blah, 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 blah. If you notice that your platform is being weird, you notice that your API is getting disconnected, you notice that maybe my stream is buffering weird, or if you guys say, oh, your voice sounds funny on the, you're chopping in and out, then I'm going to avoid clicking buttons on my chart because I know that my internet might be doing something weird, or I might be overloading my data or whatever it is, right? My upload speeds, my download speeds, something is going off that I'm not going to get actual real-time data. And like I was mentioning with Flash Boys, since this is out still with Flash Boys, there are people out there willing to buy property in a room next to the exchange to beat you to the punch. So if you're not at your best, if you don't have your internet connection, ready to go, if you think that your platform is going to be weird, don't execute. That's a way to avoid doing dumb shit, right? Don't do dumb shit. If you feel like your platform is doing weird stuff, or if you see, this is every day I check up on Top Steps Discord, not because I want to know what they're trading, not because I want to see if they're going to give me anything for free. I go to the Discord and I go to community support and I see what people are complaining about. I see, oh man, platform issue, X, top step X, top step X, top step X. All right. If I see that, I'm not going to trade, right? I'm going to wait till I see like what's going on with the platform. Like, why is there weird things going on? Are these user errors that they're experiencing? Or am I going to start to see some of the same issues that they're seeing, right? Do your accountability stuff first. Do what will prep you for the day and understand that yeah, hell yeah. Read that Flash Boys. It's a really good book. I mean, it gets you really into it, really involved. Like I said, it's written really well. There's lessons to be learned. It's not going to make you a better trader. It might scare you out of the markets if you are somebody that's a little willy-nilly and afraid to make money or afraid to compete. But at the end of the day, a lot of the regulation stuff comes into play, and you got to deal with it when it comes, right? I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, I know we're not afraid. We're not afraid, but some people who might read the book who are trying to stop themselves from trading, they'll use that as an excuse. I'm going to grab some water. One more second. Alrighty. All right. Scott comes in to this thinking your risk tolerance would be a positive, but it turns out you need to be more careful. Absolutely. That is 100% true. Definitely need to be cautious. It's a fine line between cautious and aggressive. You need to know when your edge is there. When I have people, I'm going to avoid using the edge term because it's thrown around so much in the industry, this day trading industry, and I feel like it's overdone, the edge word. I mean, it is. It's your edge. It's a trading term. It's a poker term. It's everything. But like, your advantage in this market only comes certain times during the day. It only comes during certain setups. Things need to come into place. They need to line up. For me, like I say, confluence equals confidence. I want this to happen. I want this to happen. I want S&P and NASDAQ to line up their levels. I want NVIDIA to be at a key level. I want my delta to be working my way. I want to see people heavy long when I want to go short. I want to have every little piece of information coming together, that confluence equaling confidence. And then when that time comes, I want to be aggressive in my entry, but cautious in the terms of I am wrong when I'm wrong, and that's okay to take a loss and not oversize the loss just because now that every piece of information has come together and I am tilting the odds 70% in my favor, that 30% of the time that I'm going to lose, I have to just lose the $200. I have to just lose a small amount, like lose that small percentage. And then from there, you can say, okay, I'm now able to come in here and do it and be aggressive when it's time. I want to be a sniper. I want to be out here. I want to get my setup. I want to see it coming from a mile away. I want to be like out here. I want to be like the Secret Service, seeing crooks on the roof and not doing anything about it. I want to be better than them. I want to fucking actually take the shot when the shot needed to be taken. Not some of that nonsense that goes on in the world, right? And if you're scared to execute, if you're scared to lose money, if you're in a defensive mindset, you're going to lose money, right? You're going to lose. It's going to happen. It's happened to me. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, when I've gotten to a point where I've had funded accounts, I get them up a little bit and then I start to draw them down. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to draw it down anymore. So instead of being that sniper, being aggressive at my entry points and letting my trades work, because I have that advantage, I have that edge, I have that confluence adding to my confidence. The one piece of the confidence that I didn't have was I played defensive instead of playing aggressive, right? I want to play offense when my time is to play offense. The defense for me is, having my stop loss set and then also just not being in the market when it doesn't need to be made, right? I'm going to just sit here and talk to you guys and ramble on and play videos and kind of just give you these kind of day-to-day nuggets of the same information that I'm going to just keep pounding into your head over and over again so you say, stop saying it. All right. That's what I do. That's my defense. My offense is when it's time to be offensive, I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to shoot it and I'm going to let it play and I'm going to be aggressive with my trail. I'm going to take my money and I'm going to run, right? That's the way I run things, right? I only need to take one or two of these a day and then hopefully have more days in that $600, $700, $500, $600, $700, $1,000 days times 2, times 3, times 4, right? I have 3 funded accounts. I'm copying across 2. I'm working on messing around with the 100K a little bit differently, but that's okay because I have my super discipline in place. I'm working on that discipline. I'm working on that edge to bring about more, right? When it comes down to it, when the time comes and I have 4 copied across, on 50Ks, then I'm now, instead of taking out 1,400 times 2, I'm doubling what I'm doing now. Every 2 accounts, I'm adding another, So it's instead of, today being $1,400, that's $2,800 a day by just catching one little piece of the move, right? It's not about increasing your executions. It's not about increasing a lot of like catching more of moves. It's about catching your moves when they come and leveraging capital, right? Some of these, things. Step 1 is get funded once. You check that goal in a month. Step 2 is hold that account as long as you possibly can by managing risk and taking payouts. It's such a simple math, and that's exactly the same math that I use. And then I talked to Ray, and Ray uses, right? Like, if you literally just make a $200 trade every single day, which is there, it's easily there every day. And, without losing first, right? You have to win. You have to make sure you catch the one. Sometimes you're going to lose. But on average, if you're making 200 a day across 5 accounts, you could scale that. It's scalable, right? And then if you're doing that times 5, maybe, as those accounts grow, you can now scale it into being $500 days. If you have $500 days, as your account's bigger, your drawdown is a little bigger, you're allowed to lose a little more to make a little more. Money is there. It's just scaling up a contract, right? You double it as you get some more growth, right? So for me, I'm going to take this first payout as far as the plan is concerned. Take the first payout tomorrow. I'm going to go right down to the $2,000 buffer that I made. And then I'm going to try and build it up bigger, maybe build another $2,000 buffer if I get to $5,000 and start taking the next payout again when I make another $3K. So it'll be pull it back to 2 and then try and stair step it, right? Take a portion of it, stair step it up. Take a portion of it, stair step it up, and then build that buffer until they force me into a live account. And then from that live account, I'm going to guide you all the way through everything, right? So that's just my goal here. Hopefully I'm able to help you guys. I think we are doing a really good job as a team, sticking together, getting people funded, getting people passing in a more realistic goal, right? Not showing the flash and the pomp and all that stuff. Like I'm literally just telling you levels on a chart, and then providing some, simple data to just allow you to be confident in the moves that you take. Yeah, really if you go out and let's say tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to take out basically across the 2 accounts, I'm going to take out $1,400 per account, so $2,800. You take a portion of that, you buy a couple more combines, you pass those, you activate them with the payout. Now you have a couple more combines, right? That was kind of my goal with this too. Take the payout first, then, activate the other combines and then, do that and then rotate that in. And then if you even have a buffer of extra funded accounts that are just sitting and waiting to be passed, you use that, it's just a repeatable strategy time over and over and over and over again. I think really like we're here, we're doing a good job together. I think if you just kind of follow along and really trust and believe that things I'm telling you are true, about some of the funded account stuff, about what I've done in the past and kind of things to avoid, kind of like what Scott went through today, not to poke at it again, but just to use it as an example with passing one account and then the other one being so close, feeling the need to get that last little bit instead of waiting for that next A+ execution. That little bit is something that I've been through. I've done it. Like I promise you, I've done it. Everything that you could have done stupid while trading, I've done it. So, I think it's just a general mentality thing that I think you need to go through it personally to understand that it's actually real. Because as many times as people have told me, or I've read books, or I've watched YouTube videos, or took courses, or anything I've done, it's always the same general sentiment, and you don't believe it until you do it yourself. So to do it on a combine, to do it in this world is good because you're not blowing up your own personal account, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Some people losing hundreds of thousands of dollars learning to trade. Do it in $50, $100, $200, even if it's a couple $100 a month, it's not the same as burning some of those other accounts. And you still feel the pain because you still feel that like what you're doing, but you can't quite get over the hump. Where's the consistency? How do I build it? All that stuff comes from making mistakes. Doing it in combines, doing it here is where it's worthwhile. I think understanding what you need to do is just key. And like if you can believe it, spend more than the price of combines and buying game currency and video. Absolutely, right? Like if people could realize that and, adjust their mentality and like, I could make money doing this, or I could, learn a really good skill. Like if at the end of the day, if futures decided to leave and stuff, I could go back to equities and I can understand it. And I know charts are charts. You might have to find the behaviors. You got to find levels. You got to see what kind of market environment we're in. But we can go to equities. They're going to be there. I don't know if equities, or if I can't do that, if I need to do something else, if I got to go back to Forex for some reason, which would be ridiculous. But like I know how to do that. Charts are charts. Trading is a skill, whether it be here or like David Hale said, the guy, he bought some computer monitors from him and flipped them. Like that's trading also. Like buying something for cheap and flipping it, like using this skill is something that you can take with you and understand. And then the mental fortitude, the beat downs that you take in this is it's a character builder. And I think that a lot of what we do is just all about kind of like how we take these lumps and how we apply them moving forward. So today is not a lump day. Today's a great day. We got 2 people passing combines. We got Scrooge on a path of locking out and making money, and understanding that taking consistent base hits over time is going to get him to passing, get him into that area where he's over the hump and making good progress mentally. So we've made really good progress as a group of people, understanding, what today is. Today is a FOMC day. Are you going to get really great opportunities the entire day? Probably not, right? Even though this is moving up, there's no trades here, right? For me, like I said, just because moves are happening doesn't mean trades are there. My setup was there 2 times. That's it. My setup came immediately on the open. I took it. I stopped out at even. Could have held it for like literally 2 seconds longer, and I would have been just fine. But I saw what was happening. I said you can get long here, push it to 400. So if you're a long bias only, I called that for you. Then we said, if this fails 400, it's very likely it's going to break through the overnight high and flush down very quickly. And if it breaks the previous day high, we're going to rotate at least to VWAP. And that was the goal. And then I said, if it ticks here and rotates out, I'm going to trail out to here anyway. So we're at least maximizing our gains on it, which we did. We just trailed out, took our money, and it rotated out. If it was going to break through lower, we were in a position to capitalize on that breakdown, where I could have even trailed to top of this and allowed it to breathe down to VWAP. But it didn't. It rotated out. We took our portion and ran. And then we just rotated up. And now it's just been a grind straight up pretty much, but grinding, not a real opportunity. Maybe if you're, for me personally, I don't take this, but because it's away from my levels, we're not in that kind of day. Today is FOMC day, so you are going to expect some sort of grinding action. You are going to push up into levels that maybe don't make sense, or maybe areas that are less reactive, because it's not big players reacting right now. There was some positioning probably early in the week. I do think that this yesterday was a really good indication that we were going to bounce today, but I was not on and I was not executing this. With earnings and stuff, you did get this. So looking at this chart here, the bottom end of the channel gets touched at 12:30 yesterday. Comes back up, rotates back down around close of the day. Then you get really good, not really, they're not extremely great earnings, but earnings plays that popped us out and started to move us on up. And so those earnings play happened at a key level, magically happened right when we were at the bottom end of a bearish channel to push us back up and above, potentially looking for that rotation up. This here, probably just positioning by bigger players for today, to see, all right, if we're already long from the bottom, we're pushing out, we're flushing lows, we could rotate up with everything going on. Those earnings kind of helped us out, but now they're positioned down here. They're not trying to get more entries up here. They're kind of just sitting here, waiting, being patient, allowing this to come into fruition. Is the Fed going to do a cut? Are they going to guide for cuts in September? Are they going to guarantee a September cut? Like, are they going to say things that are going to make this thing skyrocket? If not, if it's going to run into 610, then you may see some of these bigger players saying, okay, we caught as much of that move that's going to happen. We're going to try and rotate down, and we're going to re-accept back into this channel, back to the downside. So right now, you have to understand what type of day it's going to be. Is it going to be a trend day? Is it going to be a slow day? Is it going to be a high volume day? Are we going to get really good data today? What leading into the day is going to tell you, like last Friday, I mentioned the chop. I said, Friday is probably going to be choppy. The way this is working, we got FOMC next week, after this big move down, like all these things that happened on, up into Thursday, leading into Friday, I said we're in an area where there's decisions. We had a really big move, probably going to be a flat, sideways, choppy day. And it was, but we didn't execute. We didn't have any entries. There was nothing near our levels, literally all day, all the way until 11:15-ish. And finally, I got that little quick piece of a nice move that really didn't end up following through. So we caught as much of it as possible. And then it kept going. So there was nothing to that move because of the type of day it was. And same thing with today, right? Just because this is happening, maybe if you follow longer term charts and you're more of a enter at a certain level, grind it out, hold it long term, you could possibly get something today. But for me, it's all happening really early, really quickly. You have to be fast. You have to be reactive. You have to be willing to enter, be aggressive at your setup, and then get out. But understand what kind of day it is in order to know what your plan is moving forward, right? That's what I write up in my weekly write-ups. If you're not familiar with the weekly write-up, it's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. It's also in the Tradecaster lobby in the alerts and in the chat. So if you want to check it out, go over there and just take a look. See what kind of thoughts I have for the week every single week. You can go back, since I started publishing it on the Day Trading Coffee Co. website. If you do go over to Day Trading Coffee Co. website, don't be afraid to, if you do go to the write-up, click something in here. If you want me to add something to the write-up, just post it in this little box here at the bottom. It'll be helpful if you really want me to review any sort of equity name or a different chart or something for the week ahead, something that you notice maybe, hey, this is happening this week, maybe include it. I will do that for you if you send it to me. While we're here, head over to the shop. Don't be afraid. Get yourself some trading fuel. Click over, get some coffee. Go to the swag shop. Get yourself some Don't Do Dumb Shit gear. We have Don't Do Dumb Shit tee, the classic Don't Do Dumb Shit t-shirt. It comes in white, gray, black, blue. White, gray, white, light gray, dark gray, and black. And we have that. For some reason, my computer is being a little slow. There we go. We got the Don't Do Dumb Shit mug. Beautiful Don't Do Dumb Shit mug. Mine was delivered, and I got to go get it from the mailboxes. And we got the inspirational bull that I just brought around. He's going to be around. He's going to say some stuff. He's going to keep you accountable. He'll be maybe your accountability buddy. He's using that Don't Do Dumb Shit mug. And the boys are coming. Here, come say goodbye. I'm going to get off, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Come here. Come say goodbye. You don't want to say goodbye? Come on.
Goodbye.
You got to get on the video. Oh, my goodness.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye. You got a cookie. Say, I got a cookie.
I got a cookie.
All right. That's it. That's what it's all about. We made some homemade fresh cookies last night. And I got the reward for the day. Very good. Yeah, he needs all the cookies. He does. My boys love me, man. Oh, absolutely. He brought me one. He has one for himself. I made them for him, so he knows. My guys, they know who's the boss. They know who they have to bring the cookies to. He's a very helpful little guy. Yep. So if you are going to trade the FOMC, which I don't recommend, if you don't have a news trading strategy, don't trade it. But you can watch the charts come on around 1 o'clock. Get on a little bit before. Watch the price action. See what's going on. They're not going to cut rates. If they do cut rates, expect a surprise pump. If they guide forward saying, we're kind of good where we're at, same kind of guidance as before, possibly no rate cuts the rest of the year, expect an unexpected sell-off because markets have been pricing in a September cut. We'll go over here to show you it. My FedWatch tool here. You can see here for the July cut, 96% going to keep it the same. September, looking like they want a cut no matter what. there's actually, it seems like nobody's pricing in a September hold. The whole country got addicted to 0% interest. Absolutely, they did. Free money was great. It also led to unreasonable inflation. And, the Fed is very interesting. People want to get rid of it, all that stuff. I think they're very manipulative. I think there's things that they can improve on, but they're doing the best that they can with trying to keep our economy intact. I think Jerome Powell has done as good a job as they could. Realistically, what you're seeing, the money printer thing, probably an issue. Probably should let people fail that need to fail. It's hard. It's hard to say. I mean, inflation is going to happen. Things are always going to go up. To print the free money, the money printer turning on, inflating everything up, devaluing the dollar a lot. But then also at the same time, everything else got devalued at the same rate. So we kind of relatively stayed strong with the dollar, which was interesting. It's a super complex issue that we don't really need to be worried about as day traders. It's just nice to know what to look for moving forward, what kind of reactions may happen at certain times, things of that nature. But I think, like I said, it's just all about knowing your timing, knowing what you got going on, understanding how to keep your wealth long term once you do build it, and all that fun stuff. I think we need to reduce the government totally, not even just the spending. So the national debt is different than what you think, I believe. We owe money to ourselves. A lot of people think we owe it to a lot of people, but the national debt is like U.S. national debt breakdown. This is a good conversation because understanding national, because we owe money to ourselves. They think that we think that that the international community owns a lot of our debt. Like, we don't owe other countries as much. We only owe other countries, I think about, like, it says 22% here, and the rest is held by the public, right? Here we go. Let's see. 2/3 of the debt is held by domestic holders, so a lot of it's just held by public views. I'll do this quick little read of this. Economists generally view held by the public is as the most meaningful measure of debt because it reflects the amount that the Treasury has borrowed from outside lenders through financial markets to support government activities. So it's funny because, like, we think of that debt, we think of all of that government debt to be owed to outside entities as much as it can be, but it's really us owning our own debt and paying back ourselves in weird ways. We operate on when it comes down to it, we're operating on an A+ standard. If we have ever defaulted on our debts, and we have never defaulted on them, we pay it, all that fun stuff, which creates a strong dollar. And obviously, the government debt is kind of like magic made up money, right? Because at the end of the day, obviously, yes, they pay it back, but it's not. It's very weird. It's in the federal, like you see, percent of the debt is held in the Federal Reserve, mutual funds, depository institutes, and 2% is in insurance company. This other 22% is to, I think, like a couple other countries, but they pay it. It's weird though. It's hard to say yes that we'll default on it or not. I don't think we will unless craziness happens within our government. Taxes is likely to not be what is. Yeah, it's gonna, because of inflation and spending. They spend money and they just give it out like candy. It's not. It's a hard thing to say, like, oh, our national debt, that number that's out there is something that it's a made up thing. I believe more so than anything. Yes, and more interest, more debt. But if we have hundreds of billions of dollars to send to Ukraine, our debt is not something that we're really concerned about. Like it's not real. It's you don't have hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars to send to a foreign country in a proxy war that you're not, that you're fighting with another country that I'm not going to keep saying because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. But all these things, they have the money. They can reinvest it back in our economy. They don't do it because it doesn't matter. The debt doesn't really technically matter to them. They pay it, they do it, whatever. Obviously, our taxes are not really relevant. It has nothing to do with it. They have enough money to operate. We do need to reduce government waste spending. We do need to reduce it in a way to reduce taxes and all that stuff. But I think that's outside of the economic picture as far as what we're looking at with, rates and stuff like that. It's not gonna matter. It's how they pay the money. It is 100%, but there's outside taxes and it's there's a whole other system that goes on that we're not privy to, and I don't want to make up stuff and comment on it if I don't know 100%, so I'm not going to do that. But at the end of the day, New York City, when I was working there, they operated in billions of dollars in surplus, and they still couldn't pay X number, couldn't give us raises and stuff like that because they felt like not doing it, right? Whatever they feel like doing, they can do. No, yeah, interest on the debt, you could Google it and you could get the interest and all that stuff, but it's sort of irrelevant. It is. It's an expenditure. It is, but it's not going to change much. It's not going to change much in the grand scheme of everything, right? The national debt's just going to keep going up. That's never going to stop. They're going to keep spending money. They're going to keep borrowing money, and they're going to keep rotating in. There needs to be major structural changes in order to get actual day-to-day stuff to be okay, right? You don't want to devalue you don't want a crazy strong dollar, but you don't want to devalue the dollar to be crazy because you want to increase trade across the world. Yeah, we can't even think of it that way though. Unfortunately, we can't. We have no control of it. It is insane. It's absolutely insane, and it should have never got to that level. But at the same time, it's not as clean cut as just they're buying stuff on credit and they're dealing with it later. It's. I don't think it's actually properly even calculated. I think they're doing things there's so many black market budgets that they have, and they just pull money out of their ass. And if they're able to cut income taxes here, but raise income taxes there, but give you returns, but all these things, there's lots of waste, obviously. Really, what you need to do to increase the government ability to operate is to do a few different things, and it's to remove lobbying from, obviously, from political landscape. If you get rid of lobbying and you get rid of you have to have age caps or terms on Congress and terms on those other servants. And then you can allow for actual real changes to be made because you're not acting in special interest groups. You're not acting in these other things and putting money into places that don't matter. You're not sending money to Ukraine. If we did go to an America only, economy, you're going to survive for a while, but then you'll probably lose out on some, but you'll at least be able to rein in some of that debt, I guess you would consider it, but you could pull back on over capping regulation, which is a lot of what is wasteful spending. So the wasteful spending comes in when they're spending it on all these other things that don't matter. And then it just compounds and compounds and compounds. Yeah, we need to just take a step back and reset, but keep our foundation. That would be the ideal thing that we could do to increase everybody's day-to-day lives. We live in the best times, right, in the world currently. It's just expensive to live in it, yes, but still and we're at the peak of where it's going to get really bad or stay good. But at the end of the day, we got food. We're here. We're alive. We're doing things. We have opportunities. Everything's okay. It's just a little bit messy. It's a lot messy, to be honest. A lot messy. Yeah, I agree. Leave us alone and we'll do nothing. We're getting into New World Order territory there, though, Scott, because the only reason we get involved in everything is because we're told to by the powers that be. We don't have control of that. There's banks, right? We can't not get involved because we don't have a say in it because obviously Biden's not running the country. So who's running the country behind the scenes? Bourbon Israel, baby. Dude, if we want to get into those chats in person, I'll start. I can't. No. I'm all about it, but I'm going to get myself in trouble on YouTube. And a Tradecaster, I can say whatever I want. I'm cool with that side. But on YouTube, I might get a little banned. Shadow banned. I don't want to get shadow banned. I love America. I love the world. I love our government. In person, I'll talk to you about what I actually think and what I feel. But on the internets, I'm going to just keep it to financial markets. Nothing I say is actual advice. Do your own due diligence, but do it good. I think it's centrist. Yeah. There is no more hands-off world. We're in a weird times. Like you said, AI is going to take over, and then we're going to see what happens from there. I think that's about that for the day. I'm going to go hang out with the boys, see what we want to do for the rest of the day. Like I said, I'm going to do that Withdrawal live on stream tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll do it right before. I might request it tonight. I'll let you know, but you'll see it. I'll display it. You know, I kind of showed you what the process is for it, so you have the idea of what it's all about. I think you just need to, now that you've all passed, take that step back. You're going to trade tomorrow. You're going to activate it. Do it. If that's something that you can do, trade smaller tomorrow on that account. Don't go crazy over leverage. I mean, we are getting this FOMC decision type today, so there will possibly be opportunity tomorrow. We do have PMI on manufacturing PMI at 9 a.m., so you will get some manipulation there as well, depending on that number, based on what Powell says today, could give you some information. And non-farm Friday. So unfortunately, I don't think it'll let you. I mean, let me know if it does. It says something about like drawdown and amount of contracts allowed. You might not be allowed to copy your combine to your XFA. I know I haven't been able to do it. So just note that. See what happens. Yeah, even if they're both 100Ks, just see if you could do it. It depends on I think it has to do with the amount of max contracts. So in your combine, you're allowed to have, whatever, 10 contracts or whatever it is for the 100K. When you get into the funded account, it's, until you build up your buffer, they limit your amount of contracts to three to start. Like I said, I recommend it just in my history of doing this, of just starting fresh a new week. I know tomorrow starts a new month, and it would be nice to just start it on the first of the month. But let this settle in. Understand you just had a major accomplishment. You might have a little bit, not that you'll have a lack of focus, but you're just like, all right, now it's here. It's real money. I'm going to do some weird things. Let it settle in. Let it relax a little bit. And then come into Monday, fully prepared for an entire week to start that account, build it up, get it going. That's my recommendation. Like I can't click the buttons for you. I can't do anything for you. You got to do it yourself. But that's my 2 cents in the matter. Otherwise, unless everybody's got anything else, it's 11 here, Central Time. Like I said, I'm going to chill out and go enjoy the boys on my day off. And I'll be back on tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, every day, same time, same place, unless I got something else going on. I'll see you all tomorrow. Congratulations to everybody who passed today, anybody who made progress, good stuff. Stick to the plan. Stay disciplined. Don't do dumb shit. And I'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.